Hey beautiful mamas, happy Wednesday. My name is Susan Francis and I am a leading NLP and timeline therapy breakthrough coach. So really helping women to let go of their negative emotions, limiting beliefs, and step into their true power and purpose. So those are the things that I'm passionate about, and I'm going to show up here every Wednesday at 12:30 daylight savings time to add some value into this group and to really help you, help you, empower you, help inspire you to move forward and help shift your mindset and step into your true power and your true worth and leave behind the things that no longer serve you. So I'd love to, this is my first one, free little express training. So every Wednesday I'm going to keep them short and sweet, under 20 minutes, because I know we're all busy. So I'd love to also, if you're watching replay, pop replay down below, because I love to know who's tuning in. But also if you've got some feedback, or if they're really, this is for you, this is to serve you and to give you, to offer more value to you and to, like I said, help you on your journey. So if there are things that, you know, you would really love to hear about, like if there are challenges that you have, then I would love to, whether they're around mindset, self-belief, self-worth, all those sorts of things, challenges as a mum, I'd love to hear what they are. So you pop them in the comments, or feel free to PM me and let me know what those are, because I'd love to show up and add some value and really serve you with what you're wanting and what will really help you. So today though, for our first little training, I'm talking about why you are feeling unfulfilled and how to fix it. And there are three simple words I'm going to start with. One is grow, one is give, and one is gratitude. The 3 G's. That essentially is the secret. Okay, training's over. Just kidding. So what we're going to do is just dig a bit deeper into what these words mean and how you can be fulfilled. So let's start with the first one, growth. So if you are feeling unfulfilled, you know, you probably just have this innate sense of just feeling either a bit lost or just lacking purpose, or just feeling, you know, that feeling that, you know, you're worth more, you can do more, you can be more, you know, that feeling of just being unfulfilled. Like you've got all these incredible things, like maybe you had goals to have a great career, maybe you've ticked that off, maybe it was marry the man of your dreams and you've ticked that one off, maybe it was get the beautiful house and you've ticked that off, and have some beautiful children and you've ticked that off, and yet something is just, you know, something is lurking inside you, a feeling of, hey Sandy, hey Kira, how are you? Something is like lurking inside you, a feeling of being unfulfilled, and you can't work out what it is. So these are really 3 things that have helped me, and that you know, to shift into fulfillment. So fulfillment is an art. It's not one thing that will magically cure all, but it is very simple if you focus on these three key areas. So the first one is growth. So what I find from a lot of women I speak to, especially mums, is that they fail to keep growing. So when you're focusing perhaps on a career, you know, you might be constantly looking at the next level or new challenges in your job, and you are growing and evolving. Well, there tends to be more of a focus on growth and, you know, growing and evolving. And what often happens for a lot of women is that they start to plateau in their life. And this isn't just, you know, this is not about a career, it's just about a plateau. So once you get into motherhood, certainly in that first, you know, few months, maybe first year, there's a lot of bloody challenges, let's be real. So you're still growing in a lot of ways. But there does get a point where it becomes routine, where getting up every morning, feeding the kids, getting them dressed, bath, whatever, you know, whether you're at home with them or sending off to childcare, you get into a routine. And what I know a lot of women do as well is they become stagnant. If you are going back to work, you often become stagnant in what you're doing. You either go part-time and take a lesser role with less challenges, or you just, you know, your career kind of halts, like you're not striving for the next thing. And it's, like I said, it's not about your career, it's about growth. I'm sure you might have heard the saying, if you're not growing, you're dying. So what happens is when we are not growing in life, when we're just going along stagnant, the rest of the world is actually overtaking us. So you actually, you know, you get a point where you're kind of plodding along and you think it's okay, but then you'll start to go backwards. So if you're not growing, if you're not moving forward and evolving, you are dying, because there's a part of you there's a part of your soul that just needs growth to feel fulfilled. You need to be challenged, you need to be learning, you need new things. And like I said, no matter what your choices are, whether you're at home with kids or back in full-time work or anything in between, it's not about that. It's about giving yourself growth and challenges. And like I said, it could be more personal growth. Maybe you focus on personal growth, or maybe you learn a new skill. Like, you need to put some focus back on yourself and what's important to you and the things that inspire you and really wake you up. So find something that helps you grow. Personal growth, like I said, career growth, will all help you to feel fulfilled. So it's got to be something that challenges you. If you're just kind of plodding along in life, just kind of getting by, you will feel unfulfilled because your soul needs growth. It needs that growth. So like I said, could you even be dedicating time to reading books, or, you know, listening to audios, or like I said, a new course, whether you do it online, whatever it is, you've got to find something to help you grow. So that's the first tip. And like I said, no matter where you're at, you can always grow. But I think a lot of mums put themselves on hold, you know, for their children to put their family first. And absolutely, I know your family is a major priority, but you have to find some way to keep yourself growing to feel fulfilled. So that's the first thing. The second thing is giving. So when we contribute or give to others, it takes the focus off of self. So there's a saying, I can't even think what it is now, but it's something around focus on self is where you stay in suffering. So when you're constantly focused on yourself, you know, what's going on in your life, what you want or what you're trying to do or what's not working, you stay in a state of suffering. When you focus your energy on giving and serving others, there is true fulfillment in that. And by giving and serving others, I don't mean doing the dishes and doing the washing with, you know, a whole bunch of resentment around the mess that everyone else is making in your household. I mean, it's got to come from a place of love and joy. And, you know, so think about like truly helping someone out, like helping a friend out, you know, doing volunteering. It totally can be serving or giving to your family, but it's got to come from a place of love, that you are truly, you know, giving yourself and doing it, like I said, with joy and love to help someone else and be of service to someone else. So even if it is those things you're doing at home, just reframe. Like, one of the great ways to reframe everything you have to do in terms of, especially I guess kind of household things, is to reframe. Instead of saying to yourself, I have to do the washing, I have to do the dishes, or I have to do the vacuuming, or whatever it is, try saying I get to, and see how that feels. You know, I get to do the washing because I have a beautiful family to take care of. I get to do the cleaning so that I can have a clean home for my beautiful family. You know, whatever you do, it's got to come from a place of joy and love, but certainly giving to something bigger and outside of you, whether it's offering value, like I said, supporting someone else, mentoring someone else, volunteering your time to those less fortunate than you. In giving, there's a true sense of fulfillment. You know, a lot of people just focus on what can I get, and when you focus on what you can give, there's a whole new level of joy that will come into your life. And there are a lot of ways, like I said, a lot of ways you can do this, but it's a need of the soul to really have fulfillment, so that, yeah, that coming from a place of giving. And the third thing that's really key, and, you know, I'd love to know that for you, those of you that are jumping on, like, is any of this resonating with you? You know, in your role as a mum, have you stopped growing? Have you stopped challenging yourself? I'd love to know, you know, what you think, how you feel about that. The last area is gratitude, or gratitude and fun. I'm kind of going to put them together. So this group actually started as a 30 days of gratitude group. So it was all about the gratitude. But what, I guess, understanding that at a bit of a deeper level. So understanding that, you know, you really need to have, for true fulfillment, you really need to be completely okay and content and happy with where you're at. like with whatever's going on for you right now, you've got to find a sense of peace with that. So it's totally okay to dream. It's totally okay to have big visions. But if your happiness is dependent on, I will be happy when I, whatever it is, fill in the blank. It could be anything, but when I lose 5 kilos, or when I get that bigger house, or when the kids are at school, whatever it is, if your happiness is dependent on a what if or a when, you will never, ever, ever achieve it. You've always got to make peace with where you're at and be content for whatever space you're in. Like, love where you're at, have gratitude for where you're at. And even if it, like I said, things feel tough, a really beautiful thing to do, which helps you shift into a place of gratitude, is journaling on positive aspects. So this is just a little tool you can use. So in any area of your life, no matter how shit you think it is, or how challenging it is, to journal on all the positive aspects. So let's say even you've got a job you don't like, journaling on the positive aspects of that. So it could be as simple as, the job provides me a regular income. The job provides some stability in my life. The job provides me some adult contact with other people. The job has provided me with growth or challenges. Just writing positive aspects helps to shift your like I said, your view of what's going wrong into what's going right. And there are always positive aspects for every area of your life. Everything that shows up for you is either a blessing or a lesson. So if you can look at things that way, you'll find a lot more joy and, peace with where you're at. So certainly having gratitude for where you're at right now and everything that you have in your life. Sandy, it is, a lot of people Sandy just said that she was going to try journaling on positive aspects because she tends to focus on what's going wrong. A lot of people do. A lot of people focus on what's going wrong. And another quick way to shift that focus is this technique called pivoting. And I'm stealing some of these from Abraham Hicks. If any of you know Abraham Hicks, The Law of Attraction, really powerful books if you haven't read them, is whenever something's going wrong in your life, or you're thinking about what's going wrong, you can immediately stop yourself and try and pivot. So whatever you're focusing on that you think is not working, if you can immediately start to shift and just almost forget about it, but focus on what do you want. So again, I'm just going to use a work scenario. Let's say you're at work and you dislike your boss. Honestly, if just kind of zone out for a few seconds, close your eyes if you can, go to the bathroom if you can and close your eyes, and focus on what do you want. So where do you want to be instead? So let's say you dislike your boss or your job or whatever it is. Spend a couple of moments, rather than just focusing on what is going wrong, just literally just try and snap it and go, what do I want? So you might just close your eyes and go, okay, what I truly want is a job that lights me up, that I love going to, where I'm surrounded by people that I love, I'm getting paid what I'm worth, it's part-time hours, or I can work it around my kids, or whatever those things are that you truly want. Just focus your energy on what it is that you want instead. And like I said, it's not necessarily immediately going to shift where you're at, but it changes the energy inside you and it starts to attract something new into your life. And it makes you feel better, right? Like, this is the thing, is that the end result of, I guess, fulfillment is an internal joy and happiness. And focusing, changing where you're focusing your energy is definitely one way to shift that happiness. Joy has to come from within. If you are relying on others to create the joy for you, like if they would change, then I would be happy. If they didn't do this, then I would be happy. You will never find that joy that you're looking for. It's got to come from within, and you have the power to change that. You have the power to change, what you focus on in any given moment. So like I said, that's a quick technique for pivoting, just to literally whatever it is you're focusing on you don't want, just switch it for a minute and focus on what it is you do want. And like I said, it doesn't have to relate exactly to that situation. It can be more broad. It can just be, I want to have a sense of peace and joy and love what I'm doing every day. Or if you're arguing with your partner, I want to be in a place where we're having a loving, genuine, connected relationship full of lots of great communication, and there's lots of joy and fun in our relationship. Rather than trying to work out how to get out or how to change, like so many people get stuck in trying to work out how to change what's not going right. But when you're in the energy of things going wrong, when you're in a negative energy or a low energy, you can't solve the problem from that place. So if you can shift your energy, if you can shift your focus to what you want it to be, where you want to be and what you want your energy to be, so a place of joy and happiness and love, that is when answers will come to you. Call it intuition, divine guidance, whatever you want to call it. When you're in a more joyous place, when you're in a more positive place, that's when your answers will come to you. So you've got to shift that energy and that focus first. Like focusing on, what is not going right will not get you there. It will not solve those problems. So you've got to shift that energy first, and then things will come to you. And the other thing is, talking about, I guess, even just emotions, science has shown that 15 minutes of anger shuts down your immune system for 5 hours. So be mindful of where your energy is and, what you're focusing on. The more you can shift your focus to gratitude, and certainly just gratitude journaling every morning or every evening really helps shift that. Like I said, journaling on positive aspects, so going through different areas of your life, different days, and just journaling on all the positive aspects, you'll start to see that there is always some positivity you can pull out from any situation. And the last thing is, you've got to have more fun. Like, I think as we get older, as we get busier, as we have children and we're trying to juggle a lot of balls, we focus on doing so much for others and we forget to do the things that light us up. So, whatever it is for you, find the things, like if you used to love dancing when you were younger, enroll in a dance class. If you just love getting out in nature and going for a walk on the beach, do that. Instead of making excuses about why you can't do things that are for you, that light you up and bring you joy, start making plans, schedule them in, say to your partner or find someone else that can help and say, this is what I really want to do. I want to do this one night a week or a couple of mornings a week, and make the time to do it. It's so important. Like, if you want to have a sense of fulfillment, it's so important to have fun in your life. Stop relying on, like I said, other people or, your kids to perhaps bring that to you. Do it for yourself. Like, think about those things you used to love doing when you were younger and get back in touch with those. Something I did earlier this year was, back when I was a teenager and, from a young child to for a lot of my life, actually, I used to really enjoy sewing and creating things. And, back in the day I studied fashion design and that was kind of what I was passionate about. But, I got out my sewing machine for the first time in I don't know how many years and made a lot of dolls clothes for my daughter. And, just getting back to something that I used to love doing, like sewing, I was in a happy place. I loved doing that. I was creating all these beautiful little dresses and it was lots of fun and I enjoyed it. And, something else that I want to do at the moment is actually sign up for a dance class. Like I've always loved dancing and it's just fun, right? Like I'm never going to be, it's not for that I plan on making a career move into dancing at all. It's just purely for the joy of it, right? Purely for the fun, because we've got to have a focus on fun for ourselves. Don't get so serious. Like I know that there's a lot of responsibilities as you grow up, but stop being so serious. Put the joy back into your life. Do fun things or do silly things with your kids. Like take the time when they're being silly to be silly with them, rather than watching them. Join in, right? Like kids know how to have fun. Build a sandcastle, whatever it is, kick the ball around, like do things that are fun. So that's sort of the last little thing. So, just bring that joy back into your life, take responsibility and schedule it. Stop waiting for other people to give that to you or for you to somehow magically find it. You've got to create it for yourself. So take that responsibility and do some more fun things for yourself. Whatever it is that you love doing, do more of that. So I hope that's been helpful. They are honestly, if you can focus on those few things, so just a quick little recap, growing, find something, make sure you are focused on growth. And like I said, it can just be personal development. It could be learning a new language. You know, progress is what feeds our soul. You know, feeling like you're growing and evolving is where you will find fulfillment. So make sure you are growing. Don't get into this place where you're just stagnant, thinking that you're just going to keep this same job, plod along doing the same thing, raise the kids, and eventually one day you'll focus on yourself. That is what is killing your, you know, that's what's fueling your lack of fulfillment, is because you're not focusing on growing within yourself, and you need to make yourself a priority. So you've got to find a way to grow. The other thing is giving. So focus on giving to others with love. And when you focus on others, you take that focus from yourself, and that would absolutely bring you joy. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than really helping someone else in need, and, you know, seeing their gratitude. That is something that truly fills your cup and will give you a sense of fulfillment. And the last thing is gratitude. So really loving where you're at, no matter what it is. Nothing's ever perfect. Life is always a journey. You're never going to get there. You know, there's never going to be magically ticking things off a list is never going to bring you fulfillment. It's about loving where you're at, loving the journey, finding the gratitude in every day. And like I said, journaling on positive aspects is one way to have more gratitude. Just a gratitude practice of every day, focusing on what you're grateful for, and have more fun. It's like when you're you know, joyful and enjoying life and having more fun, there's definitely you know, more of a sense of fulfillment and love and joy within you. So anyway, I hope that has been helpful. Like I said, I'll be showing up every Wednesday at 12:30, so I'd love to hear what you'd love to hear about next, or what are some of the things that you struggle with. And also, if you do implement any of these changes, I'd love to know how you go. So like I said, feel free to comment or PM me. I'd love to hear, you know, how you're going and what are the challenges that you've got. And you know, if I know I've posted about it here in the group before, but I have a 2-week in 2 weeks I have an 8-week coaching program starting. So anyone that really is ready to transform their life, you know, really wanting to let go of their negative emotions, their blocks, limiting beliefs, and really own their power, really, you know, find their voice and find their passion and purpose, then definitely reach out and let's have a chat, because I've got an awesome 8-week program starting in 2 weeks time. So I think I popped the link in here, so just pop on there and send me a message and let's connect. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your day. I'm out for now, and I'll chat to you soon. Bye.